My daughter brought me to the emergency room and never came back. Told the nurse she was going home to get my insurance card. That was the 3rd of February 2024. I haven't seen her since. While I was lying in that hospital bed, half my body paralyzed from a stroke, unable to speak clearly, Tanya was at the bank, withdrawing every dollar from my account, $52,000. My life savings. The money my husband Robert left me when he died. Then she went to a real estate agent, put my house up for sale, forged a power of attorney with my signature, sold my home for $185,000, and disappeared. Left me in that hospital with nothing, no money, no home, no family. Just a 9-year-old stroke victim the system didn't know what to do with. A lot of you might have heard about cases like this: hospital abandonment, elder exploitation. It's been discussed in social work circles, shared in legal aid groups, talked about on podcasts about the most vulnerable members of our society being betrayed by their own children. It happens more than people think, more than anyone wants to believe. Hit that subscribe button. I want to know where you're watching from, especially if you've ever been left behind. If you've ever trusted someone who destroyed that trust in the cruelest way possible. If you've ever had to rebuild your life from a hospital bed with nothing but the determination to survive. This is how a retired school cafeteria worker lost everything to her own daughter, and how she's still fighting to understand why. Let me back up, give you the whole picture. I'm Gwendolyn Richards, 69 years old. Worked in the cafeteria at Lincoln Elementary School on Chicago's South Side for 38 years. Started in 1975 at $2.90 an hour, serving lunch to children. Retired in 2013 with a pension of $1,840 monthly. My husband Robert drove buses for the CTA for 32 years. We raised Tanya in a small house in Englewood, 3 bedrooms, nothing fancy. But it was ours. We paid it off in 2009. Robert died in 2017. Diabetes complications. He was 66. The life insurance paid out $58,000. I put $52,000 in savings, used $6,000 for the funeral, and to pay off the last bit on the house. That $52,000 was everything. My emergency fund, my security, my future. The money that would take care of me if something happened. I never touched it, just let it sit there, growing slowly, with the little interest the bank paid. Knowing it was there made me feel safe. Tanya was our only child, born in 1989. We tried for more, but it didn't happen. So we poured everything into her. Robert especially. He spoiled her. Whatever she wanted, he found a way. New shoes for school, a car when she turned 17, money for community college that she dropped out of after 1 semester. He couldn't say no to her. I tried to be firmer, tried to teach her about responsibility, about working hard, about earning what you get. But Robert would undermine me. Baby, let her be young, let her figure it out. She never figured it out. Tanya worked retail jobs, Target, Walgreens, Old Navy, never stayed anywhere more than a year, always had an excuse. The manager was unfair, the hours were bad. The customers were rude. She was 35 years old and had never held a steady job, never saved money, never planned for the future. When Robert died, she cried at the funeral. But 2 weeks later she was asking me for money, said she was behind on rent. I gave her $800, then another $1,200 3 months later, then $500 the month after that. It never stopped. There was always an emergency, always a crisis, always a reason she needed help. And I helped because she was my daughter, because Robert would have wanted me to, because saying no felt like abandoning her. 6 months before the stroke, Tanya lost her job at Target. Called me crying, said they'd fired her unfairly, said she couldn't make rent, asked if she could move in with me. I said no. The house was small. I liked my quiet. I liked living alone. I'd earned my peace after 38 years of serving lunch to hundreds of children every day. I told her I'd help with rent for 2 months while she found another job. But she couldn't move in. She was furious. Said I was selfish. Said Robert would be ashamed of me. Said I had a whole house and wouldn't share it with my own daughter. We didn't speak for 3 weeks after that. Then she started calling again. Sweet, apologetic. Said she understood. Said she'd found a new job. Said she had a boyfriend now. Derek. Said things were looking up. She'd come visit on Sundays. Bring me groceries. Help around the house. We were rebuilding our relationship. Or so I thought. What I didn't know was that Tanya had a drug problem. Pain pills. Started with a prescription after a car accident 2 years before. Then she couldn't stop. Buying pills from dealers when her prescription ran out. Spending $200, $300 a week on pills. That's why she kept losing jobs. Why she couldn't pay rent. Why she always needed money. Derek was part of it. Maybe a dealer. Maybe just another addict. I never met him. She never brought him around. Said he was shy. Said he worked construction and kept odd hours. I should have questioned that. Should have wondered why my daughter's boyfriend never came to meet her mother. But I wanted to believe things were good. Wanted to believe she was finally getting her life together. The 3rd of February 2024. Saturday morning. I woke up around 7 a.m. Like always. Made coffee. Sat at my kitchen table. Started having trouble holding my cup. My left hand wasn't working right. Felt weak. Strange. Then my face started feeling numb. I tried to stand up. My left leg buckled. I fell. Hit the floor hard. Tried to call out, but my words came out slurred. Wrong. I managed to crawl to where I'd left my phone. On the couch. Took me maybe 20 minutes to get there. Felt like hours. Called Tanya. She was the only person in my emergency contacts besides Robert, and he was gone. She answered on the 4th ring. Mom, it's 7, 30 inches the morning. Something wrong. Can't move my left side. What? Mom, I can't understand you. Peas. Come. I fell. Are you drunk? No. Something. Wrong. Peas. I heard her talk to someone. Derek probably. Heard him say something I couldn't make out. Then Tanya came back. Okay. I'm coming. Stay there. Retry. She arrived 40 minutes later. I was still on the floor, couldn't get up. My entire left side felt dead, heavy, my face drooping, speech barely working. I could see the panic in her eyes when she walked in, but also something else, something I didn't recognize then. Calculation. Mom, oh my God, you had a stroke. We need to get you to the hospital. She helped me up, half carried me to her car, a beat-up Honda Civic, drove fast through the South Side streets, ran 2 red lights. Got me to Cook County Hospital ER by 8:45 a.m. They took me back immediately. Stroke protocol, time is brain, every minute matters. The ER was chaos. Saturday morning, gunshot wounds, overdoses, sick children, crying, beeping machines. Tanya stayed with me while they did the CT scan, while the neurologist examined me, while they explained I'd had an ischemic stroke, left middle cerebral artery, significant damage. My left side would be paralyzed, maybe permanently. Maybe I'd recover some function with therapy, too early to tell. They admitted me, said I'd be there at least a week, maybe longer, needed to stabilize, monitor, start rehabilitation. The nurse asked about insurance. I had Medicare. Tanya knew that. But she said, her insurance card is at home. I'll go get it and bring it back. Nurse Patricia Johnson, 56 years old, looked at Tanya. I remember her face. Kind, but tired. She'd seen everything. We need it for admissions. Can you bring it soon? Of course. I'll be back in an hour. "Mom, I'm just going to get your insurance card and some clothes for you. You're going to be here a few days. You need your things." I tried to speak, tried to say something, but my words came out garbled. Puz, handbag, has, card. "Your purse is at home, Mom. Remember? I'll get everything. Just rest. I'll be right back." She kissed my forehead, squeezed my right hand, the one that still worked. "I love you, Mom. I'll be back soon, I promise." That was 11:20 a.m., the 3rd of February 2024, the last time I saw my daughter. She didn't come back. By 3 p.m., the hospital was asking about the insurance card. Nurse Patricia tried calling Tanya. Phone went straight to voicemail. Tried again at 4 p.m. Same thing. By 6 p.m., they were concerned. By 8 p.m., they assigned a social worker. Angela Martinez came to my room that evening, 42 years old. Puerto Rican woman with kind eyes and a no-nonsense attitude. She'd been a social worker at Cook County for 15 years. She'd seen everything. But she told me later that my case haunted her. "Mrs. Richards, we can't reach your daughter. Do you have any other family? Anyone else we can call?" I shook my head, tried to speak. "Tanya, 1E1. Just Tanya? She's your only family?" I nodded, started crying. Something was wrong. I knew it, felt it. Tanya wouldn't just disappear, unless something happened to her, unless she was hurt, unless... "Do you have her address? We can send someone to check on her, make sure she's okay." I didn't know her address. She'd moved 3 times in the last year, always different apartments, always temporary. I had her phone number. That was it. Angela wrote it down. Said she'd try to track Tanya down. Said not to worry. Said people get busy, forget, get caught up. Said she'd probably show up tomorrow. But I knew. Somewhere deep. I knew she wasn't coming back. Sunday, day 2. Still no Tanya. Angela tried calling. Tried tracking the number. Disconnected. Service canceled. She contacted Chicago police. Filed a missing person report. They said they'd look into it. But they didn't seem concerned. Adult daughter. No signs of foul play. Probably just busy. My condition stabilized. The stroke damage was severe but not immediately life-threatening. I could move my right side. Could speak, though slurred and difficult. Could understand everything. Could think clearly. Just couldn't move half my body. Couldn't walk. Couldn't dress myself. Couldn't go to the bathroom alone. Needed help with everything. Monday, day 3. Angela came back with news. Bad news. She sat beside my bed. Held my hand. The good one. "Mrs. Richards, I need to tell you something. We've been trying to figure out your insurance and financial situation. For your care, for placement after discharge." Placement. That word felt cold, clinical, like I was an object to be stored somewhere. "We contacted your bank to verify your account information for billing. Mrs. Richards, your savings account. It's empty. Someone withdrew $52,000 on Saturday, February 3. The same day you came to the ER. The room tilted. My vision blurred. Not from the stroke. From shock. From betrayal beginning to register in my brain. No. Can't be. The withdrawal was made at 10:15 a.m. at the branch on 87th Street. Security footage shows your daughter, Tanya. She had your debit card. She knew your PIN. She withdrew the maximum daily limit, $2,500. Then went to a teller, withdrew the rest, $49,500. Showed ID. Said it was for your medical care. They gave her a cashier's check. I couldn't breathe, couldn't process. My daughter, my Tanya, while I was in the ER, fighting for my life, while doctors were scanning my brain, while nurses were trying to save me, She was at the bank, taking everything. Everything Robert left me. Everything I'd saved. Everything. There's more, Angela said quietly. We contacted your home address to see if we could find any insurance documents, any information. Mrs. Richards, there's a for sale sign in your yard. Your house is listed. It went on the market Sunday morning, February 4. No. That. My house can't. The listing agent said the seller is Tanya Richards. She has power of attorney, showed documents, your signature, said you're moving to a care facility, said you wanted to sell quickly. Forged. Had to be forged. I never gave her power of attorney, never signed anything, never agreed to sell my house, my home, the place Robert and I built our life, where we raised her, where he died, where I was supposed to live until I died, gone, being sold, without my permission, without my knowledge. Mrs. Richards, I'm so sorry. But I need to ask, did you give your daughter permission to access your bank account? To sell your house? I shook my head violently, ignoring the pain, the dizziness. No, nay, never. She stole everything. Angela's face hardened, professional mask slipping, showing real anger, real disgust. We're contacting the police, Financial Crimes Division. This is elder exploitation, theft, fraud, forgery. But Mrs. Richards, I need to be honest with you. These cases take time, months, maybe longer. And right now, we have an immediate problem. What problem? You can't go home. The house is being sold. You have no money for private care. Your Medicare covers the hospital stay for now, but not long-term rehabilitation or nursing care. You need 24-hour assistance, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. That costs thousands a week. Without money, without family, we have to apply for Medicaid. But that process takes 60 to 90 days, maybe longer. So, what happens? To me? Angela looked away, then back. You'll have to stay here, in the hospital, until we can place you somewhere. It's not ideal. Hospital beds are for acute care, but we can't discharge you to nowhere. You're medically stable but need care. So you'll stay here while I work on Medicaid approval and finding a facility that will accept you. How? Long? I don't know. Weeks. Maybe longer. I'm sorry, Mrs. Richards. I'm going to fight for you. But the system moves slow, and your daughter put you in an impossible situation. I turned my head away, stared at the hospital wall. Beige. Institutional. My future. Trapped in a hospital bed. Betrayed by the child I'd raised. Loved. Sacrificed for. Everything gone. Money. Home. Dignity. Independence. Family. Sister Lucille came to visit on Tuesday. Day 4. She was 71. We'd known each other 25 years from Greater Faith Baptist Church. She walked into my hospital room and started crying immediately. "Gwendolyn, baby, what happened?" Mrs. Thompson called me. Said your house is for sale. Said she hasn't seen you in days. I've been calling your phone. No answer. I came to your house. Saw the for sale sign. Knocked on the door. Nothing. Finally called hospitals. Found you here. I told her everything. As best I could with my slurred speech. She sat and listened. Held my hand. Cried with me. Then got angry. Righteous angry. Church lady angry. The dangerous kind. That girl. I watched her grow up. Sang in the choir. I remember when Robert walked her down the aisle for her confirmation. And she did this? To you? Her own mama? On the day you had a stroke? She. Sick. Lucille. The drugs. Derek. She. Not. Herself. Don't you make excuses for her. Drugs or not. Boyfriend or not. You don't steal from your mama. You don't abandon her in a hospital. You don't sell her house while she's lying paralyzed. That's evil. That's not sickness. That's choice. Maybe she was right. Maybe I'd been making excuses for Tanya her whole life, explaining away her behavior, her failures, her cruelty, because she was mine, because I loved her. Because admitting she was capable of this meant admitting I'd failed as a mother, that Robert and I had raised someone with no conscience, no loyalty, no love. Sister Lucille stayed for 3 hours, prayed over me, called Pastor Green, told him what happened. He came that evening, prayed, said the church would help, would raise money for my care, would visit regularly, would not let me be forgotten. Thursday, day 6. Detective Sharon Moore came to interview me. She was 48, black woman, sharp suit, sharper eyes, Financial Crimes Unit. Angela had filed a report. Now it was being investigated. Mrs. Richards, I'm going to be straight with you. What your daughter did is criminal. Elder financial exploitation is a felony in Illinois. Theft over $50,000 is a Class 1 felony. Carries 4 to 15 years in prison. The forged power of attorney adds another felony. We're going to find her. We're going to prosecute. But I need your cooperation. I told her everything I could. About Tanya's drug problem. About Derek. About the pattern of asking for money. About the reconciliation in the months before the stroke. About how she'd been so sweet. So helpful, setting me up. Do you have any idea where she might be? Friends? Family? Places she liked to go? I didn't know. Realized I didn't really know my daughter at all. Didn't know her friends, her life, her world. She'd kept me at arm's length for years, only coming close when she needed something. And I'd been so grateful for the scraps of attention she gave me that I never questioned it. Detective Moore left her card, said she'd be in touch, said these cases are hard. Daughters can disappear, change names, move states, but she'd do her best. Week 2, still in the hospital, physical therapy started. They had me try to move my left leg, my left arm. Nothing, just dead weight. The therapist said it might come back, might not. Too early to tell. Some stroke patients recover significant function. Others don't. I was somewhere in the middle, young enough to have hope, old enough to be realistic. Speech therapy. Learning to speak clearly again. My mouth didn't work right. Left side of my face still drooping. Had to relearn how to form words, how to make my tongue cooperate. Frustrating. Humiliating. But necessary. Mrs. Thompson, my neighbor, came to visit, brought flowers, told me what was happening with my house. There's been people coming to look at it, real estate agents with clients. I tried to stop them, told them you didn't authorize the sale. They said they have paperwork, power of attorney. They think I'm just a nosy neighbor. Gwendolyn, is there anything I can do? Juice. Be witness for police. Tell them what you saw. She promised she would. Said she'd keep an eye on the house. Said if it sold, she'd find out who bought it. Track the money. Be my eyes and ears. Week 3. Angela came with an update. The house sold, $185,000. Cash buyer, closed fast. The money went to an account in Tanya's name. She withdrew it the same day. Closed the account. We tracked her phone records before she disconnected service. Last ping was near O'Hare Airport. February 4. The day after she brought you here. We think she flew somewhere. Used cash. No credit card records. She's gone, Mrs. Richards. Vanished. Gone. With $237,000. My life savings plus the house sale. Gone. And I was stuck in a hospital bed, unable to walk, unable to go home because I had no home, unable to do anything but lie there and process the enormity of what my daughter had done. What? Happens now? Medicaid application is processing. I've been calling nursing homes. Most won't take you until Medicaid is approved, but I found one. Lakeside Meadows. It's not great. It's an older facility. Underfunded. But they'll take you pending Medicaid approval. You'll share a room. The care is basic, but it's somewhere. You can't stay here forever. When? 2 more weeks. We'll transfer you there. I'm sorry, Gwendolyn. I'm sorry this is happening. I'm sorry the system is failing you. I'm sorry your daughter did this. I closed my eyes. 2 more weeks in the hospital, then a nursing home. Not great. Underfunded. Shared room. At 69 years old. Because my daughter stole everything and disappeared. Week 4. The hospital was pushing to discharge me. Beds were needed for acute patients. I wasn't acute anymore, just chronically disabled. Medicare wouldn't pay much longer. Angela worked frantically to expedite the Medicaid application, to secure the nursing home placement, to find me somewhere to exist. Sister Lucille visited every other day, brought news from church. Pastor Green had told the congregation what happened. The offering that Sunday raised $3,400. Not enough to pay for private care, but enough for some dignity items. Clothes, toiletries, things Medicare and Medicaid wouldn't cover. The whole church is praying for you, Gwendolyn, and praying that girl gets what's coming to her. I know she's your daughter. I know you love her. But baby, what she did. There's no excuse, no forgiveness for that. Not in this life. I wanted to disagree. Wanted to say there's always forgiveness. That's what we're taught. Forgive as we are forgiven. But I couldn't find forgiveness in my heart. Only rage, only betrayal, only the question that kept me awake at night. How could she do this to me? Week 5. Detective Moore came back. We've traced some activity. Credit card used in Gary, Indiana 2 days after she left Chicago. Gas station purchase. Then another in Louisville, Kentucky. Then nothing. She's using cash. Smart. Harder to track. But we've issued a warrant. If she gets pulled over, if she tries to use ID anywhere official, we'll get her. But you don't. No. Where? Not yet, but people like Tanya, they make mistakes, get comfortable, think they got away with it, then they slip, use their real name, apply for a job, get in trouble. We'll find her. Just takes time. Time. I had nothing but time. Time in a hospital bed. Time waiting for Medicaid. Time replaying every moment with Tanya. Every sign I'd missed. Every red flag I'd ignored. Week 6. Der 15. März 2024. Transfer day. Ambulance took me from Cook County Hospital to Lakeside Meadows Nursing Home on the west side. The building was old, 1,960 construction, needed updating, paint peeling, fluorescent lights flickering. That smell, every nursing home has it. Disinfectant trying to cover up everything else. Age, sickness, resignation, death. My room was on the 2nd floor. Room 237. Shared with a woman named Dorothy, 84 years old. Advanced dementia. She didn't know who I was, didn't know who she was most days. Talked to people who weren't there. Called me by her daughter's name sometimes. Other times didn't acknowledge my existence. 2 beds, 2 small dressers, 1 tiny bathroom, 1 window looking out at the parking lot. This was home now. This was what my life had become. Gerald Foster, the administrator, came to welcome me. 58 years old, tired eyes. He'd been running Lakeside Meadows for 12 years, fighting constant budget cuts, staff shortages, trying to provide decent care with inadequate resources. Mrs. Richards, welcome to Lakeside. I know this isn't what you wanted. Angela Martinez told me your situation. I'm sorry. We'll do our best to take care of you here. You'll have physical therapy 3 times a week, meals in the dining room if you're able. Or we can bring trays to your room. Visiting hours are 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you need anything, press the call button. Someone will come. Might take a few minutes. We're understaffed. But we'll come. He left. A nurse came, helped me into the bed. Dorothy was singing. Old hymns, off-key, repetitive, the same verse over and over. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. That saved a wretch like me. I turned my face to the wall, cried quietly, for Robert, for the life we'd built, for the daughter we'd loved, for everything that was gone. Days blurred together. Physical therapy was painful. The therapist, a young woman named Maria, worked with me on trying to move my left side. Tiny improvements. I could wiggle my left toes sometimes, could barely lift my left arm a few inches. Progress measured in millimeters, in moments. Would I ever walk again? Maybe with a walker. Maybe just a wheelchair. Too early to tell. That phrase haunted me. Too early to tell. My entire future was too early to tell. Sister Lucille visited twice a week, brought magazines, talked about church, about people I knew, about the world outside these walls. She never mentioned Tanya, unless I brought it up. Which I did. Obsessively. Have they found her? Not yet, baby, but they will. God sees everything. She can't hide forever. But she could hide for a long time. Long enough for me to die in this place without ever seeing her again, without ever understanding why. April 2024. 2 months since the stroke. 2 months since Tanya abandoned me. Detective Moore called. She'd traced Tanya to Florida, Tampa area. A traffic stop. Derek had been driving. Got pulled over for expired tags, both of them in the car. Tanya gave a fake name, but the officer ran fingerprints. Outstanding warrant. Arrested. Both of them. She's in custody in Tampa. We're processing extradition. She'll be back in Illinois within 2 weeks. She'll face charges. Multiple felonies. Mrs. Richards, I need to ask. Do you want to see her? Before the trial? We can arrange it. Did I want to see her? The daughter who'd stolen everything? Who'd left me paralyzed and alone? Who'd disappeared with $250,000 while I rotted in a nursing home? No, don't want to see her. I understand. The state will prosecute with or without you testifying, but if you're willing to testify, it strengthens the case significantly. Would you consider it? Yes, I'll testify. I'll tell everyone what she did. May 2024, 3 months post-stroke. Tanya was extradited back to Illinois, held without bail, flight risk. She'd already proven she'd run. The public defender tried to argue she needed drug treatment, not prison. That she was sick. That addiction made her do it. Attorney Lisa Brennan from Legal Aid came to see me. 44 years old. Passionate about elder rights. She'd taken my case pro bono. Mrs. Richards, the prosecution is offering Tanya a plea deal. 5 years, she'd serve probably 3 with good behavior. They want to avoid trial, save resources. But I wanted to check with you. Do you want to accept the plea or push for trial? What would trial get? If convicted on all counts, potentially 10 to 15 years. But trials are risky. Juries are unpredictable. She might get sympathy. Daughter with addiction issues. Made a terrible mistake. Could get less or nothing. Take the plea. I want her in prison. Don't care how long. Just want justice. June 2024. 4 months since the stroke. The plea hearing. Angela Martinez arranged for me to attend. transported me in the nursing home van. Wheelchair. Sister Lucille came with me, held my hand the whole way to the courthouse. The courtroom was smaller than I expected. Cook County Circuit Court, Judge Patricia Hammond presiding, 61 years old, black woman, stern face. She'd seen thousands of cases, heard every excuse, every sob story. Nothing surprised her anymore. Tanya was brought in wearing an orange jumpsuit, handcuffs. Her hair was different, shorter, unwashed. She'd lost weight, looked older, looked nothing like my daughter. Or maybe looked exactly like my daughter, the real one, the one I'd never wanted to see. She glanced at me. Our eyes met for half a second. Then she looked away. Shame, or maybe just annoyance that I was there. I couldn't tell. Didn't know this person in front of me. The prosecutor read the charges: theft, elder financial exploitation, forgery, multiple counts. Tanya's public defender stood. Young man, maybe 30, overworked, underpaid. Your Honor, my client wishes to enter a guilty plea to all counts. We've reached an agreement with the state, 5 years Illinois Department of Corrections. My client understands the severity of her actions. She's deeply remorseful. She's struggled with substance abuse, with mental health issues. She makes no excuses. She accepts responsibility. Judge Hammond looked at Tanya. Miss Richards, is this your decision, to plead guilty? Do you understand you're waiving your right to trial? Yes, Your Honor. Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're admitting to stealing over $200,000 from your mother, to forging legal documents, to abandoning her in a hospital while you fled the state? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have anything to say to this court? To your mother? Tanya looked down, silent for a long moment. Then, I'm sorry. I was desperate. I owed money to bad people. Derek said we had to leave, had to get money fast or they'd kill us. I panicked. I wasn't thinking. I'm sorry. Excuses, that's all it was. Excuses wrapped in a thin apology. Desperate. Bad people. Derek made me. Nothing about love. Nothing about betrayal. Nothing about leaving her mother paralyzed and homeless, just self-preservation dressed up as remorse. Judge Hammond's expression didn't change. Miss Richards, I've been on this bench for 19 years. I've heard every version of I'm sorry that exists. Yours is one of the weakest. You didn't make a mistake. You didn't have a moment of poor judgment. You planned this. You brought your mother to the hospital, then went directly to the bank. You'd already arranged to sell her house. You had your escape planned. This wasn't desperation. This was calculated theft from the one person in this world who loved you unconditionally. She turned to me. Mrs. Richards, would you like to address the court? Or your daughter? Sister Lucille wheeled me forward. Closer to the bench. Closer to Tanya. I'd prepared words. Practiced with the speech therapist. Made sure I could say what I needed to say clearly, so there would be no misunderstanding. Tanya, you destroyed me. Not just my money. Not just my house. You destroyed my heart. I loved you more than life. Your father loved you. We gave you everything, and you left me to die alone in a hospital. My voice was shaking, words slurred but clear enough. Tanya was crying now, but I couldn't tell if the tears were real or performance. Didn't matter anymore. You took Robert's money. The money he left to take care of me. You sold our house. The house we built for you, and you ran like a thief because that's what you are, a thief and a coward. I took a breath, gathering strength for the final words, the ones that mattered most. I have one daughter. Her name was Tanya. She died February 3rd when she left me in that hospital. The person standing here, I don't know her and I don't want to. Judge Hammond nodded slowly. Miss Richards, I accept your guilty plea. I sentence you to 5 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections. You will also be ordered to pay restitution in the amount of $237,000 to your mother. Though I suspect that money is long gone, you'll be eligible for parole after serving 85% of your sentence. That's a little over 4 years. I hope you use that time to understand the magnitude of what you've done. Bailiff, remand the defendant. They took Tanya away. She looked back once, mouthed something, maybe I'm sorry again, maybe something else. I turned away, didn't want to see, didn't want to know. Sister Lucille wheeled me out. We sat in the courthouse lobby for 20 minutes. I couldn't stop shaking, couldn't stop crying, not from sadness, from release, from finally being heard, from Tanya finally facing consequences. It's over, baby, Sister Lucille said. She's going to prison. Justice was served. But was it? 5 years. She'd be out in 4, still young, still able to rebuild, while I'd be in Lakeside Meadows, in a wheelchair, living on Medicaid, with nothing, no money, no home, no daughter, no future except waiting to die in a nursing home room that smelled like disinfectant and defeat. July 2024, 5 months post-stroke, some improvement. I could move my left leg a little, could lift my left arm to shoulder height. Speech was clearer, still slurred, still slow, but understandable. The therapist said, this might be as good as it gets. This partial recovery, this new normal. I learned to navigate the nursing home, learned the routines, meals at set times, therapy sessions, medication rounds, TV in the common room, bingo on Wednesdays, church service on Sundays, led by visiting pastors who rotated through local care facilities. Most residents were older than me, sicker than me, many with dementia. Dorothy, my roommate, declined rapidly, stopped eating, stopped responding, moved to hospice care in August, died in September. They gave me a new roommate, Ethel, 77, stroke survivor like me, but hers happened 3 years ago. She'd accepted this life, made peace with it, tried to help me do the same. You're young, she said. 69. I've seen people younger than you walk out of here. Get better. Go home. Don't give up, Gwendolyn. Don't let what your daughter did define the rest of your life. But how could it not? Everything I'd worked for, everything Robert and I had built, gone, because the person we loved most in the world betrayed us. How do you move forward from that? How do you find meaning when you're trapped in a nursing home because your own child destroyed you? Detective Moore visited in September. Mrs. Richards, I wanted to update you. We tracked some of the money. Tanya and Derek spent most of it. Drugs, hotels, car, gambling, flights. Shopping, they burned through $180,000 in 6 weeks. The rest is gone. Accounts closed, cash withdrawn, no way to recover it. The restitution order is meaningless. She has nothing to pay you back with. So not only was the money gone, there was no hope of ever getting it back. The house was sold to a cash buyer who'd already resold it. The new owners had no obligation to me, no connection. My home belonged to strangers now, and I was stuck here, October 2024. 8 months since the stroke. 8 months since Tanya abandoned me. The days blurred together in lakeside meadows. Same routine, same walls, same smell. Same faces of staff rotating through shifts. Same despair dressed up as acceptance. Physical therapy continued, but progress had plateaued. I could walk short distances with a walker, 20 feet, maybe 30 on a good day, then exhaustion, then back to the wheelchair. My left arm had some function, could hold a cup, could feed myself. Small victories that felt enormous and insignificant at the same time. Sister Lucille still visited twice a week, brought news from the outside world. Pastor Green came monthly, prayed over me, reminded me God hadn't forgotten me. But sitting in that nursing home room, it was hard to believe God remembered I existed. Mrs. Thompson, my old neighbor, visited in November, brought photos of my house. The new owners had renovated. Fresh paint, new roof, landscaped yard. "It looks beautiful, Gwendolyn. I thought you'd want to see. I know it hurts, but it's being loved, being cared for." I looked at the photos. The house Robert and I bought in 1984, where we'd raised Tanya, where Robert died, where I'd expected to die, now belonging to strangers. Beautiful, renovated, erased of our history, our memories, our existence. Thank you for showing me. I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't have. No, need to see, need to know, it's real, all of it. Real. She stayed for an hour. Told me about the neighborhood. About families moving in and out. About how the South Side was changing. Gentrifying. Old people like us being pushed out by young professionals with money. Even if I'd kept the house, I might not have been able to afford the rising property taxes, the increasing cost of everything. Maybe Tanya did me a favor. That's what I tried to tell myself on the worst days. Maybe losing everything forced me to let go of attachments, of material things, of the illusion that we own anything. We're just temporary caretakers. Everything passes. Everything ends. But I didn't believe it. Loss is loss. Theft is theft. Betrayal doesn't become wisdom just because you survive it. December 2024. 10 months since the stroke. Tanya sent a letter from prison. Logan Correctional Center. The guard brought it to my room. Standard envelope. Inmate number in the corner where a return address should be. I stared at it for 3 days before opening it. "Mom, I know you don't want to hear from me. I know you said I'm dead to you, but I need to write this. I need you to know I'm getting clean in here, sober for the first time in 6 years. And now that the fog is clearing, I can see what I did. Really see it. Not through the haze of pills and desperation, through clarity. And Mom, I'm destroyed. I can't sleep, can't eat, can't stop thinking about you in that hospital, about leaving you there, about taking your money, Dad's money, the house, everything. I tell myself I was sick, addicted, desperate, but those are just words, excuses. The truth is, I chose drugs over you, chose Derek over you, chose myself over you, every single time, for years. And February 3rd was just the culmination, the final betrayal, the one I can't take back. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I'm not asking you to write back. I don't deserve that either. I just need you to know that I remember who you were, who you are. The mother who packed my lunch every day for 12 years, who sat in the front row at my school concerts even when I couldn't carry a tune, who worked in a cafeteria serving other people's children lunch so I could have a better life, who loved me even when I made it impossible to love me. I destroyed you. I know that. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life knowing that. There's no redemption for this. No making it right. I just wanted you to know I see it now. I see you. Too late. But I see you. I'm sorry, Mom. For everything. For all of it. For being your daughter and turning into your worst nightmare. I love you. I know that means nothing now. But I do. I always did. Even when I was destroying you, Tanya. I read it 5 times. Looking for manipulation. For excuses. For anything that felt like she was trying to get something from me. But I didn't find it. Just pain. Just regret. Just the daughter I'd lost seeing clearly for the first time what she'd done. I didn't write back. Couldn't. Didn't have words. Didn't have forgiveness. Didn't have anything but the echo of "I see you" bouncing around in my head. Too late. She sees me too late. January 2025. Almost 1 year since the stroke. I turned 70 inches Lakeside Meadows. Sister Lucille brought a small cake. Chocolate. My favorite. We ate it in my room. Ethel sang happy birthday off-key. Dorothy's replacement, a new roommate named Grace, clapped along even though she didn't know why. 70 years old. 4 decades of marriage. 38 years of serving lunch to children. 1 daughter. 1 stroke. 1 betrayal. 1 year in a nursing home. This was my life now. This was what all those years had led to. Attorney Lisa Brennan visited in February, 1 year exactly since the stroke. Since Tanya left me, Mrs. Richards, I wanted to update you. Medicaid has been approved. You're fully covered. The nursing home is paid. You're secure here. I also wanted to tell you about a program. Transitional housing for stroke survivors. Assisted living. Not as intensive as nursing care. More independence. You'd have your own small apartment. Staff available. Therapy continuing. Medicare and Medicaid would cover most of it. There's a waiting list, but I put your name on it. Thought you should have options. Options. I'd forgotten what those felt like. How long waiting. List? 6 months, maybe less. Someone might move. Or pass. Then you'd move up. It's not guaranteed. But it's possible. A way out of here if you want it. Did I want it? Want to try again? Want to rebuild some small version of a life? Or was it easier to just stay here? Accept this as the end. Stop fighting. Stop hoping. Stop believing anything could be different. Put my name down. She smiled. Already did. I'll let you know if a spot opens up. March 2025. Detective Moore called. Mrs. Richards, I wanted to inform you. Derek Williams was sentenced yesterday. He got 7 years. More than Tanya because he had priors. Drug trafficking. Assault. Violating probation. The judge threw the book at him. Thought you should know. 7 years for Derek. 5 for Tanya. But they'd already served almost a year. She'd be out in 3 more. He'd be out in 6. Still young, still able to start over, while I'd still be here, or in assisted living if I was lucky, still alone, still carrying the weight of what they did. Thank you for telling me. Mrs. Richards, one more thing. Tanya's been writing to you. The prison told me. You haven't responded. That's your right. But I wanted you to know she's not giving up. She writes every week. Whether you read them or not. Every week. Letters I threw away unopened after that first one. Couldn't bear to read them. Couldn't bear to feel anything for her. Anger was safer than love. Hatred was safer than hope. Cutting her off completely was safer than the risk of being destroyed again. Retry. April 2025. 14 months since the stroke. Spring arrived, but you wouldn't know it inside Lakeside Meadows. Same recycled air. Same fluorescent lights. Same view of the parking lot. But something in me shifted. Maybe it was the letter. Maybe it was the possibility of assisted living. Maybe it was just survival instinct finally kicking in after a year of barely existing. I started pushing harder in physical therapy, walking further, building strength. The therapist noticed. "Mrs. Richards, what changed? You've made more progress in the last month than the previous 6 combined. Want out of here." She understood. Everyone who worked there understood. Lakeside Meadows wasn't a home. It was a waiting room. Some people waited to get better. Most waited to die. I decided I wanted to be in the first category. May 2025. Lisa Brennan called. A spot opened up. Riverside Assisted Living. Small 1-bedroom apartment. Kitchenette. Your own bathroom. Common dining room. Staff on site. Physical therapy available. It's not luxury, but it's yours. Independence. Privacy. Dignity. Do you want it? Yes. God. Yes. I'll start the paperwork. You could move in 3 weeks. June 1st. 3 weeks. 21 days. Then out of this place. Out of the shared room. Out of the institutional smell. Out of the constant reminder of loss. A new start. Small. Limited. But mine. Sister Lucille was thrilled. "Baby, this is answered prayer. You're getting your life back. Piece by piece. It's not the same life, but it's a life. That's what matters." Ethel was happy for me, but also sad. We'd become friends. Roommates bonded by circumstance. Shared disabilities. Shared grief. "I'm gonna miss you, Gwendolyn. But I'm so glad you're getting out. One of us should." The 1st of June 2025. Moving day. I didn't have much to move. Church had bought me some clothes, toiletries, a few books. Photos Sister Lucille had salvaged from people who knew me. No photos of Tanya. I couldn't bear to look at her face. Even from before. Even from when she was young and innocent and mine. Riverside Assisted Living was 20 minutes away. Smaller building. Only 40 units. My apartment was on the 1st floor, room 8. 1 room with a bed, small TV, 2 chairs. Kitchenette with a mini fridge, microwave, sink, bathroom with grab bars, and emergency pull cord. Window facing a small garden. Actual plants, trees, sky. I sat in my chair by the window and cried. Not from sadness. From relief. From the smallest taste of freedom after 14 months of captivity. This wasn't my house. Wasn't the life I'd had. But it was mine. Nobody else in the room. No roommate talking to ghosts. No institutional schedule. Just me. Alone but not abandoned. Different. The first night I couldn't sleep. Too quiet. Too much space. Too much possibility. What do you do with freedom when you've forgotten what it feels like? July 2025. Settling into routine. Meals in the common dining room with other residents. Most were older, most had health issues, but we weren't bedridden, weren't waiting to die. We were living reduced versions of lives, making the best of what remained. I made a friend. Charlotte. 74. Stroke survivor like me. 3 years post-stroke, she walked with a cane, spoke clearly, had recovered more than I had. Gave me hope that improvement was still possible. "You're young, Gwendolyn. 69, 70. You've got time. I was where you are 3 years ago. Now look at me. Not perfect, but functional, independent. You'll get there." August 2025, 18 months since the stroke. Detective Moore visited me at Riverside. "Mrs. Richards, wanted to give you an update in person. Tanya's up for parole review next month. She's served about 19 months. With good behavior, early release programs, she could be out by November. I wanted you to know, in case she tries to contact you." "Will she?" "I don't know. She's written you every week for 18 months. You haven't responded." Maybe she'll give up. Maybe she'll show up here. You have the right to a restraining order if you want one. Protection from contact. Did I want that? Legal barrier between me and my daughter? Or did some small part of me want to see her? Want to understand? Want to hear her explain in person what she could never explain in letters? Not yet. No restraining order yet. Your choice. But if she shows up and you feel unsafe, call police immediately. You have that right. September 2025. I received letter number 78 from Tanya. I'd kept count. 78 weeks, 78 letters, all unopened except the first. All sitting in a box under my bed. Couldn't throw them away, couldn't read them, just kept them. Evidence of persistence, or guilt, or love. I didn't know which. This one I opened. Don't know why. Maybe because Detective Moore said she might be released soon. Maybe because I needed to know if anything had changed. Mom, I heard you moved to assisted living. Sister Lucille told my lawyer who told me. I'm so glad. You deserve better than Lakeside. You deserve so much better than any of this. I might be released in November. Early release for good behavior and program completion. I've been clean 19 months now. Longest I've been sober since I was 16. Turns out I've been running from myself for almost 20 years, using pills to numb, to forget, to not feel. Now I'm feeling everything, including what I did to you. It's unbearable some days, but I deserve to feel it. I'm writing to ask permission. When I get out, can I see you? Not right away. Not until you're ready. But someday. I need to apologize in person. Need to look you in the eye. Need you to see that I'm different, that I'm trying. I don't expect forgiveness. Don't expect a relationship. Just one conversation. One chance to say what I need to say face to face. Please think about it. I love you, Mom. Tanya. I folded the letter, put it back in the envelope, added it to the box, didn't know my answer yet, didn't know if I'd ever know. October 2025. 19 months post-stroke. I was walking better. Still used a walker but could manage short distances without it. Speech was clearer. Most people could understand me now without much effort. The therapist said I'd made remarkable progress, but remarkable for a stroke survivor still meant limited, still meant disabled. Still meant my old life was gone forever. Sister Lucille visited every week at Riverside. Easier for her to get to than Lakeside had been. We'd sit in the garden when weather permitted. She'd update me on church, on people I knew, on the world I'd been removed from. Gwendolyn, I need to ask you something. Tanya's getting released next month. Are you going to see her? Don't. No. What does your heart say? My heart says she's my daughter, but my head says she destroyed me. Both things can be true. She's your daughter and she destroyed you. Question is, can you live the rest of your life not knowing if she really changed, not giving her a chance to try? What if she hurts me again? Then you'll survive it. Like you survived the stroke. Like you survived losing everything. You're stronger than you think, baby. Stronger than she could ever make you weak. The 15th of November 2025. 20 months and 12 days since the stroke. Since the last time I saw Tanya. The assisted living facility called me to the front desk. Mrs. Richards, you have a visitor. She says she's your daughter. My heart stopped. Started again. Stopped. I hadn't given permission, hadn't agreed to see her, but she was here, in the lobby, waiting. Want me to tell her leave? The receptionist looked sympathetic. That's your choice. I can have her removed if you want. I sat in my wheelchair, hands shaking, 20 months of anger, of grief, of unanswered questions, and she was 50 feet away, behind a door. The daughter who destroyed me. the daughter I'd loved more than life. 5 minutos. I'll talk. 5 minutos. They brought me to a small visiting room. Private, quiet. Tanya was sitting in a chair. She stood when I entered. She'd changed. Lost more weight. Hair longer. Clean. Sober eyes. But older. So much older. Prison had aged her, or maybe sobriety had, or maybe guilt had. Mom. Her voice broke. Thank you for seeing me. I didn't speak. Just looked at her. This stranger. This familiar stranger. I know 5 minutes isn't much. I'll be quick. I needed to see you. Needed to tell you in person. I'm sorry. I'm so deeply sorry. For all of it. The money. The house. The abandonment. For choosing drugs over you. For being the daughter who destroyed her mother. I can't fix it. Can't undo it. Can't make it right. But I'm trying to be different. I'm sober. Working with a counselor. Got a job lined up at a restaurant. Dishwasher. Minimum wage. But honest work. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm just asking you to know I see what I did. I see you. And I'm sorry. Tears running down her face. Real tears. Not the fake ones from the courtroom. Real grief. Real remorse. Or maybe I just wanted to believe they were real. Why? My voice steadier than I expected. Why? Did you do it? I was drowning. In debt. In addiction. In fear. Derek owed money to dealers. They were threatening him. Threatening me. I panicked. Thought if I got enough money fast, we could disappear. Start over. I convinced myself you'd be okay. That Medicare would cover everything. That the system would take care of you. I didn't let myself think about you alone in that hospital. About you losing your home. I just ran. Like I've been running my whole life. Did you love me? Every day. Even when I was stealing from you. Even when I was leaving you. I loved you. That's what makes it so terrible. I knew what I was doing was destroying you, and I did it anyway. Because I loved myself more. Loved drugs more. Loved escaping more than I loved you. And I have to live with that. Forever. The 5 minutes were up. The receptionist knocked gently. Time to go. Can I see you again? Tanya asked. Not now. Not soon. But someday? Can we try? I looked at this broken woman, my broken daughter, the person who destroyed me and destroyed herself in the process. Could we try? Could there be any kind of relationship after this? Any kind of healing? Don't. No. Need. Time. I understand. I'll wait. However long it takes, I'll wait. They took her away. I sat in that room alone, shaking, crying, feeling everything I'd been trying not to feel for 20 months. Love, hate, grief, hope, anger, forgiveness. All of it at once, all of it impossible, all of it real. Sister Lucille found me there 30 minutes later. Did you see her? Yes. How do you feel? Don't. No. Just don't. No. December 2025. I'm still here. Still at Riverside. Still walking with my walker. Still rebuilding small pieces of a life from the ruins Tanya left. The assisted living is paid for by Medicaid. The church still helps with things Medicare doesn't cover. Sister Lucille still visits. Detective Moore checks in occasionally. Tanya writes once a month now, down from weekly, respecting my space, my silence. She's working at a diner in Cicero, living in a halfway house, attending NA meetings, seeing a therapist, building a life from nothing, like I'm building a life from nothing. Both of us starting over, both of us broken by what she did. I haven't written back, haven't seen her again since that November day, but I haven't thrown the letters away either, Haven't closed the door completely, just left it slightly open. A crack, not enough to walk through, just enough to let a little light in. January 2026. 2 years since the stroke, since the abandonment, since everything ended and this strange new life began. I'm 70 years old, living in assisted living, disabled, alone, but alive, still here, still surviving. Charlotte and I celebrated my birthday together. Small cake in the common room. A few other residents joined. People I didn't know 2 years ago. People who've become something like family. Not the family I wanted, not the family I chose, but family nonetheless. "What do you wish for?" Charlotte asked when I blew out the candles. Peace. That's what I wished for. Peace with what happened. Peace with what I lost. Peace with who Tanya became and who I became because of it. Not forgiveness necessarily, just peace. The ability to stop carrying the weight of betrayal every single day, to wake up and not immediately remember, to exist without the constant ache of loss. But I didn't say that out loud, just smiled. Better, walking, more, independence. Physical goals, measurable, achievable, safer than emotional ones. The 3rd of February 2026, 2 years exactly. The anniversary. Sister Lucille came to sit with me. Knew this would be a hard day. We sat in my apartment, looked out at the garden. Early spring flowers starting to bloom. 2 years, she said. You've survived 2 years, built a life again. That's not nothing, Gwendolyn. Doesn't feel like much. You're walking, talking, living independently in your own space, making friends, engaging with life. 2 years ago you were paralyzed in a hospital bed with nothing. Look at you now. That's everything. Maybe she was right. Maybe survival was enough. Maybe rebuilding some small version of dignity and independence was victory, even if it wasn't the life I'd planned. Even if it came at a cost I never should have had to pay. Got another letter from Tanya yesterday. Did you read it? Yes. It was the first letter I'd read in 3 months. Something about the anniversary made me open it, made me want to know what she'd say on this day. The day she destroyed everything. She says she knows what today is. Says she'll never forget. Says she's 2 years sober. Says she's applied for custody of nothing. Just wants me to know she's still here, still trying. What do you want to do? Still don't know. March 2026. Detective Moore visited one last time. Mrs. Richards, my investigation is officially closed. Tanya served her time. She's complied with all terms of her release. The restitution order stands, but we all know she'll never be able to pay it. The case is over. I wanted to tell you in person. Thank you for your cooperation. I'm sorry we couldn't get your money back, couldn't undo what happened, but we got justice. That's something. Justice. 5 years reduced to less than $237,000 that would never be repaid. A daughter who destroyed her mother and got to walk free while that mother lived in assisted living on Medicaid. That was justice. Imperfect, incomplete, but the only kind available. Thank you for trying. Take care of yourself, Mrs. Richards. You're a survivor. Don't forget that. April 2026. 26 months since the stroke. I was walking without the walker now. Just a cane. Could manage my apartment independently. Could cook simple meals in my kitchenette. Could shower without help. Small victories that felt enormous. The therapist said I'd reached maximum recovery. This was as good as it would get. And it was good enough. Not great, not whole, but enough. Tanya's latest letter asked a question. Mom, I'm not asking to see you. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm just asking one thing. Can I send you money? I know it's nothing compared to what I took. But I'm working 2 jobs now. Diner during the day, convenience store at night. I can send you $200 a month. It's not much, but it's what I can do. Please let me do this. Please let me try to pay back even a tiny fraction of what I stole. I need to do this. For you, for me, for Dad's memory. Please. $200 a month. Would take 98 years to repay $237,000, longer than both of us would live. Symbolic. Meaningless mathematically, but maybe not meaningless emotionally. Maybe it was something, a gesture, an acknowledgement, a small act of repair for irreparable damage. I wrote back for the first time in 2 years. 3 sentences. You can send. Mon A. 2. Riverside. 4. My extras. Thank you. Not forgiveness. Not reconciliation. Just acceptance of an offering. A crack in the door opened slightly wider, not enough to walk through, but wider. May 2026. The first check arrived, $200. Money order made out to me. I deposited it into the small account the facility helped me set up. Used it to buy a new sweater, a book, a plant for my windowsill, small luxuries Medicaid didn't cover, small pieces of dignity bought with my daughter's labor. Strange, painful, but something. That is Gwendolyn's story. Now I want to hear from you. Where are you watching this from? What city? What country? Drop it in the comments below. I love seeing our global community come together over these powerful stories about betrayal, survival, and the impossible question of whether some damage can ever be repaired. Real question. If you were Gwendolyn, what would you have done? Would you have seen Tanya when she showed up at assisted living? Would you have accepted the $200 monthly payments? Would you try to rebuild some kind of relationship? Or would you cut your daughter off completely? Tell me in the comments. Hit that like button if this story made you feel something. Share it if you know someone who's been abandoned by family, someone who had to rebuild their entire life after betrayal, someone who's still deciding whether survival means forgiveness or just means surviving. And subscribe for more real stories about hospital abandonment, what happens when addiction destroys families, the children who steal everything from the parents who gave them everything, and whether healing is possible when trust has been completely shattered. Because Gwendolyn survived the stroke, survived the theft, survived the abandonment, but she's still figuring out if she can survive forgiveness. See you in the next video.